Hello again. Okay, so this frailing thing, it is a difficult technique. It looks so easy. It doesn't look like there's anything to it. But actually it is a bit tricky. It's a bit tricky, and it's really in the wrist action. It's not a flick. Not like that. Nope. It's a wrist action. Either a wrist action or a strike. But if it's a strike, you've got to be quite accurate. I think that will develop later on when you've got a little more finesse. It really is an action of either the wrist or your whole arm in striking, but not a finger action really. Very limited. Very limited. And when I'm demonstrating, particularly at a slow pace, a slow tempo, I can't help but exaggerate the action of striking the string, and for the sake of showing you which string I'm actually striking, it might appear like a bit more of a flick than it ought to. But you might notice that as I speed up, it's much more of a strike. There's really not much flicking finger action going on. Okay, so bum, ditty, strike, rest, strum, thumb. Once you get the hang of doing that, you can begin to vary it. But for now, even if it's intensely boring or repetitive, you need to practice that until it's second nature. You need to practice it until you don't really think about it. And one of the essential things about this is to do it slowly. If you can't play something slowly, then you'll not be able to play it fast. So if you're struggling to do something, slow the tempo down by half. Play it half as slowly. Again, twice as slowly. Play it twice as slowly. What am I talking about? If you can't play something at the tempo you're attempting to play it at the speed at which you're going, slow it down. Play it twice as slowly and see if you can play it at that speed. If you can't play it at that speed, play it twice as slowly again. Slow it right down until you can play it. Until you can find a slow speed at which you can play it. As soon as you can play it at that speed, you'll probably find you can play it twice as fast. Almost straight away. But that's the key. If you can't do it slowly, you won't be able to do it fast. So tackle things nice and slowly until you get the hang of it. And the problem when you try and speed up that clawhammer action is that you tend to turn the strike into a strum. And so you're going strum, rest, strum, thumb. Strum, strum, strum. And the problem with that is then you lose the definition of the melody. You've lost those individual melody notes that are picking out and defining the tune. They all just become chords. Chord, rest, chord, thumb. Chord, rest, chord, thumb. And that's not what we're aiming for. And another really good technique when you've got a couple of tunes down is to video yourself. And that way you can be more objective about your playing. You can hear if the melody is nice and clear. You can hear if you're achieving that separation. So you need to play slowly in order to work on the clarity. You need to play slowly in order to perfect the clawhammer technique, or your frailing. And if by playing bar chords you're freeing yourself up to perfect that technique, all well and good. But it's possible certainly to work on the different elements, the left hand with the chords and the right hand with the clawhammer action, or vice versa if you're one of those lefties. Sorry if you are. So it's possible to work on the techniques of the two hands independently.